asked us a lot of questions.
So here are the answers. Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah. All right. What?
You asked, first of all, really good questions, and we're here to answer them.
Yes. Let's begin with what inspired you to make a Wawa Wawa?
That's a great question, and it has a very deep story to it. It was basically one night when we were in the village. We were really exhausted because we were working on a couple of projects at the same time. My friend came over to just check on us if we're still alive, and we spent like a nice time. We did some stuff. We even posted a story, I think, how we made spears. And on that night, we watched a very famous movie called Borat. So as it happens, stuff like that gets stuck to you, and we continued to express ourselves in Wawa Wawa.
He comes to me one day in a complete delirium and goes, Wawa and the Wawa went on the Wawa Wawa adventures, and Wawa looked at Wawa and said, Wawa Wawa. He literally like that, and I didn't know what to say or how to feel about this, but I accepted it, and at some point we both looked at each other and like,
maybe that should become an animation.
yep. And I immediately saw these two characters of Wawa being a triangular shaped head with Wawa being a little wonky.
So it was a co-creation. It took both of our power and deliriumness to come up with this beautiful, gorgeous idea of creating Wawa and Wawa. Next question.
Where are you from? From Georgia.
Georgia. That's a country.
Go look it up.
Google.
Yes. Where did "but why stop here" come from?
Oh, another great question.
As I was working on some of the first facial drawing tutorial, smiling face or a happy face.
A round face is somewhere there in the beginning. Yeah.
It was a happy one that I then kind of naturally, just when I was drawing and exaggerating the mimics and the facial expressions of that face, I was in my mind just going, why stop here? And let me just completely exaggerate and turn the smile up to the tops of the ears and things.
Yeah.
And it felt very, natural to not stop here. And
it is kind of like a social trademark. Since he was a kid, he used to really focus on his drawings, and sometimes he would spend hours and hours and continue like one project for multiple days. And so I guess it was always there, but it needed a little push to be creative,
over the edge of insanity. Now let's see. Where can we see your personal art? I think they're asking me this.
Yeah.
And you included, because you also have some short films.
I don't think anyone gives a shit.
Not at the moment, but they will in the future. Listen, right now we don't have, well, yeah, we have it somewhere. If you'll find it, good luck.
No, don't. Not necessary.
All right, next question. Which pencils do you use? This comment has been haunting for probably every single video.
And for all of you who have been asking this question in the comments and DMs, I just want to say that when we started JADOKAR, in the first few videos we've been answering this question. Yeah. And soon after I just realized that this question will always exist. So it's just, to this point, I think it's kind of a nice mystery to not know what kind of pencil this is.
But those of you who really want to know, here. Pentel, whatever the model is, the silver one mechanical pencil. Versatile Kohinoor's lead holder, whatever here, it's here. And those are the two main ones that I'm using. But it really doesn't matter. So long as you have a tool that works well enough, hey man, go for it. Your skill is what matters.
The tea is finished. That means that it's time to have a little walk. Okay, but before we go on a walk, let's answer a few more questions, because it's so beautiful out here, right?
Indeed it is.
Yes, a very nice table.
What are you doing when you're bored?
Well, okay, but seriously, I mean, sometimes we play music, sometimes we write music, sometimes we just play music, and then Soso tells me that it sucks.
And it's back and forth. Sometimes I sit down in front of a computer and search in Google Earth rich people's houses rather, because it is very interesting to watch how people live.
Yeah, it's just nice to admire good houses while we're living in a tiny
It's
little
an
apartment.
architectural, yes, aesthetic. But yes, yeah, there are a couple of things, such things, and sometimes playing games, which probably you're gonna see in the future.
Yeah.
All right, this one is interesting. How did you come up with JADOKAR's design?
That was a very complicated process. Before we called JADOKAR, there was another name, and we're not gonna say it. If you'll find it, you'll find it, but we just don't want to bring it back to history. Basically, JADOKAR means magician, so we had to create a magician. And I had in my mind this idea that this creature needed to be created on one try, on one go. And so
I've tried just a couple.
Yeah.
I think you did it from the very first try.
yeah,
I gave you
yeah.
a piece of paper, and you just sat down,
Yep.
and very roughly, like this, drew this.
So yeah, I just sat down and I was like, I'm feeling it.
And
I'm feeling magic in this pencil.
absolutely. And I, as an artist with many years of experience, looked at that and I was like, bruh,
Approved.
That is good. And till this day, we still have even the paper saved in the archives, and the picture hasn't changed, and will probably never change it.
It's a piece of history.
Indeed, indeed. Okay, this is an interesting one. How is your voice so wiggly? I don't really know. I just practice, brush your teeth every day.
What?
Do some vocal practices. It's all gonna be good, The more you do weird noises, the more you're gonna be able to do it.
Well, you have to know that he has been practicing his voice since he was like 14 years old at least.
Probably, maybe, somewhat like that. Look up Bobby McFerrin's vocal exercises. That's a really good one. That might help you to also wiggle yourself.
Yeah.
Real. Another one. Apart from you,
Another one.
Apart from YouTube, what type of work would you like to do?
That's a great question, and let me answer this question very seriously because it's a question of future, a question of everything that we stand for.
Oh my God,
Ouch.
yes.
Cue the footage.
Well, this isn't something that I can do right now, but in the future, I would love to open up an academy of sorts where I'd be able to teach young adolescents how to not only just draw, but create original works of art in whatever shape or form they would like to. But beyond that, I would like to create my own original artwork where I would be completely free to experiment with any medium, any scale whatsoever.
Well, since I was a child, I was immersed in the film industry, and I even worked in film industry. And my goal is to become a film director at some point, which is a very difficult task to do, but I believe that I can achieve that. So besides doing YouTube videos, I think that's my primary goal and a really, really big wish. But besides that, from my experience studying in Georgia in a film school, I had a horrible time, and I would really love to create a proper film school in this country sometime in 20 or 30 years later, because I still have to learn a lot, gain a lot, and bring people who would be interested in doing this. So yeah, that would be another thing to do. So what is the next question?
How do we coordinate our videos?
Indeed, and how do we do that?
Well, there are short videos that we usually make that are weekly, and the editing process is quite straightforward. It's within a minute. Always, time frame is similar to that extent, and I usually am the one who films and draws all of these things, and I send that footage, or rather me, I'm editing that, and then I send the edited footage over to David, who posts these, writes all the descriptions, and makes the thumbnails for these videos. As for ideas, sometimes I run out of ideas and I get the help of David to fuel me with topics that we can present in these short formats. Sometimes it goes vice versa, we come together and brainstorm on these things and come up with these topics and ideas in advance to produce these videos a lot faster.
And then what goes for the long format videos, it's kind of the same process. We both think about the ideas and what kind of videos we can do. Since it's just two of us, we can't really do big format videos like creating a castle or organizing the whole school and like creating murals everywhere in the city.
Not yet.
Not yet, yes, exactly. But because of that, we just kind of come up with the ideas, write it down. I usually continue to think about the camera movements and all the editing and stuff like that. And it ends up being like a small little script that helps us to guide ourselves through the video, just like we're doing right now. And now let's go into a bit of a speed mode and answer some quick questions that we have. Favorite band?
Earth, Wind and Fire, Kool and the Gang, Isley Brothers.
Beatles, Bee Gees, and Dayglow.
Oh.
Do you speak Georgian?
Yeah. Your name?
David.
And so. Are you twins or two similar people? No, but we're brothers, 5 years apart.
Are you guys married?
Not me, but he is.
Indeed, and she's the most beautiful thing that has happened in my life.
So adorable, my god. A favorite anime?
Hunter x Hunter.
Ooh, that's a good. Mine is The Monster.
What's your favorite game?
Mine out of the recent ones is Stardew Valley.
And mine is Red Dead Redemption 2.
Whoa. Oh, look at this. We came across a example of a perfect loaf. Indeed, we are in the wild, and we are observing a phenomena of nature that is very rare, that people can come upon. Now, take a look. The tail is tucked underneath. As you can see, the hind legs are completely invisible. The front legs are slightly popping out in terms of a silhouette, but they are still quite compacted. Now, the subject is a bit surprised as we are observing. They themselves do not know how perfect they are, but we are privileged to be here today. What a beautiful sight. Oh.
How many are there of you?
Just the two of us.
Indeed. Oh boy, that was a good run, wasn't it?
Yes, it was indeed.
What do you say if we chill a little bit?
That is a good idea.
Let's chill. Oh, so
my.
much nicer.
Yes.
Chill, good vibes,
Incredible.
smooth lighting. And before you ask, no. But
Hey.
we're just brothers. Just
We're-
happy to be here. Okay, let's continue with the more in-depth questions.
Yes. What's been the most challenging thing to draw? I think it's directed towards me.
Yes.
To be honest, I mean, it depends based on my time of when I was drawing what. I was really bad at drawing people, then I got good. I was really bad at drawing hands in particular, then I got good. And it's always these different kinds of steps. I don't think an artist has one thing that they're really difficult at drawing. Yeah, they can get good at it, and then there's a new challenge. So for now, I think, I don't know. I don't want to say I can draw everything, but there are challenges here and there.
But if you would have to choose from all the drawings that you've done, which one was the most challenging for you? Because you've done some competitions, you've done some works for clients.
The art fairy tale series, the architectural fairy tale.
Yeah, we can show that real quick.
Yes, it was a competition. I tried several times and failed, but
It's all about trying.
and participation.
Yeah.
Here is a good one. How do you come up with ideas, both of you?
Oh, great question. At this point, we have been doing this for a year, which is not a lot, but it gave us a great experience to understand what sort of content we personally want to provide and what sort of content our audience wants to see. So we always try to mix these ideas together, and depending on how burnt out we are, especially Soso, because he's drawing mainly, depending on that, we decide the idea, the difficulty, what sort of like theme it's going to be in.
Yeah, our schedule dictates it from time to time, but there are moments when there are creative bursts from both sides. So sometimes you come along and you say, chairs! And I'm like, oh, I need to do the chairs!
That was one of the random ideas I got, because I remember Soso studied in Holland University, in Holland, and he did a couple of designs of chairs. He even designed his own chair.
Yes.
And I was just thinking about that, like, he has done an entire semester about a chair.
Yep.
I think it would be appropriate to.
I think I'm qualified enough
I
to.
think he's qualified enough to draw a tutorial on chair, and
Sure.
it became quite successful. I think it's still pinned on our Instagram page.
Yeah. Well, this is a persistent question. Which of you draws and what does the other do?
Nothing.
Obviously I draw and I film the short format videos. But yeah, what do you do?
What I do mainly is managing all the communication, emails, contacting the potential clients, the clients that we have worked with, editing the long format videos on YouTube, filming all the YouTube videos, also planning with Soso, also coming up with ideas.
Being creatively involved as well.
Basically.
Yeah.
The list goes on. But the main thing is that when we were starting this, and we've done a lot of projects together in past, the idea was always that when we both would sit down, we would come up with something great. Because when we were separately working, it was always very difficult to focus on to a point where we can put away everything, our jobs, our responsibilities, our friends, and so on, and focus on just one thing. But when it's two of us, it's much easier and much more helpful because it's two creative minds thinking about the whole.
I don't know how long it would have taken me to start this by myself. I know actually I can tell you that. It would have taken me probably up to like 31 years or even more. But then, you know, yeah, at this stage in my life, finally, like we came together and we actually committed.
I think that the best combination between us is the fact that Soso is hugely talented and hugely skilled in. He's hugely talented and skilled in drawing and artistry and what he can do on paper, and not only on paper, with sculptures and so many other things. And I've been spending my entire life filming, videographing, working on films, filming films. All this knowledge helped me to package Soso's artistry into a very nice little ball of creation, and immediately almost start creating as good of videos as we could. And of course, some of them were not the best, but we learned very quickly because I basically already knew everything about filming and managing and organizing and production, and that helped both of us to kind of go quick pace through this whole process.
This was long, but this is good.
This is long, but I think our audience deserves at least one properly answered.
Yeah. All right. I think we can end on this question. And this,
I think so too.
Yes. Your inspiration to start JADOKAR and all of its history, or and overall its history.
That's a great question. But for us to answer that question, I think we simply cannot stop here!
We are gonna answer this particular question on our first episode of Sketchy Wizardry Podcast.
What?
Ooh.
Yes, I know how it sounds. Fun.
And sketchy.
And wizardry.
Ooh.
I don't know. I love this name. So
Me
loves
too.
that name.
Me too. Sketchy Wizardry Podcast.
It's sketchy and it's wizardry.
Yes. And
What else do you want?
What?
But if you like it, you like it. And if you don't, that's okay too. I mean, we're just gonna talk, give advice, talk about different kind of things, and we'll see
Discuss
how
all
it
sorts
goes.
of topics. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like another kind of a chill session from me and Soso.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And with that, we're gonna wish you a pleasant day, evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time it is in your area of living or residence or occupation. Till next time.